Currently 93 degrees in Memphis with the feels like temperature at 107 degrees. Not even noon yet, and these are the readings we have here so far on Tuesday. Not hard to believe with these kinds of readings that we are on our way to the hottest day of the year. Already in the 90s everywhere for the actual temperature. 95 in Covington takes the cake as the highest. 117 for the feels like right now. So this is really cranking up that heat and humidity to a level we just have not seen so far at all this year. We've had a couple of days where we have been above 105, even close to 110, but it is definitely going to be really, I think, the peak of the heat so far this summer, maybe ending up as the sort of peak for the season in general, as we do have that heat index in Memphis expected to cross over 110 degrees within the next couple of hours, if it already isn't looking like we have that sort of built up for the next update from our stations that report those current conditions. So overall today, I think the temperatures are going to get up to 98 here in Memphis and a couple of other spots throughout the region. I think we may end up seeing the triple digits for the actual temperature. A chance of rain that should be at about 30 to 40% by later this evening. This is going to be the final day of this heat wave, and it sort of ends here or culminates with a chance of some storms by later tonight, of which I think heavy rains are going to be the main concern. It looks like maybe a few strong wind gusts as well, but overall the severe threat out of this system is going to be focused a bit further away from us to the north and east, closer to the Ohio River Valley, even the mid-Atlantic United States on the eastern seaboard. But still a lot of heat that is going to come first as the main concern for the forecast today. A bit above average here by about 6 degrees, and while 101 is pretty unlikely to be matched here, set back in 2006 or even definitely exceeded, it is going to be feeling above that. It already does pretty much everywhere across the region. For that reason, until 9 p.m. tonight, we have those heat advisories still in effect. It looks like in McNairy, Alcorn, Tippah, and Lafayette counties, we have the heat advisory where the index is above 105. We're expected to be that baseline, but the baseline a little bit higher here in these pink magenta colors where the heat warning is located for every single county, the rest of us here within the Mid-South, and then even extending throughout pretty much all of Arkansas, many parts of Kentucky, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. So definitely not alone here in all of these sort of very hot locations joining together to see their hottest days of the year so far. Clouds and radar still showing clear skies for now, or at least dry skies. We did have some heavier cloud cover move on through pretty quickly here over the course of last night into this morning. That was the result of some severe storms over parts of the upper Midwest. Those have since long faded away. Looks like development here is ongoing. We're about to begin in parts of, again, the upland Ohio River valleys and off towards the Mid-Atlantic, even in parts of Appalachia. The Mid-South is going to be on the very tail end of the zone of where there may just be a little bit of some development, but still very isolated is what we are thinking. And again, the heaviest of rains is going to be the sort of main concern here, with a lot of our models not really showing too much organization. Maybe a broken line here that starts to move through a little bit later than the last couple of rain chances have verified. This could be still affecting us here a little bit after dark, after sunset tonight, but it is going to dry us out by around midnight or so, and then the next couple of days do look to still be dry, and this is going to be paired alongside cooler temperatures back in the lower 90s. The heat index that may very well be just exactly what the actual temperature is, so the triple digits may be just very quickly sort of receding here after today. We'll just keep in mind that there is at least some risk here from the Storm Prediction Center for that slight 2 out of 5 for a few of us north and east of Covington, a 1 out of 5 for the Memphis metro, and then further south here beyond Tunica and Holly Springs, really no risk whatsoever. So a pretty tight gradient, of which again we are at the very corner of, and that is going to mean that in any sort of storms, of which there won't be many, and the main concerns we'll be looking for strong wind gusts and some heavier rains, tornadoes, large hail. Those are not going to be an issue. Rain chances going forward after today lower. Only on Saturday of the weekend is where I think we have an equally likely chance of seeing some rainfall across the region. Overall tonight here again, maybe a little bit of a later push here or a later sort of lingering of any showers and storms, but I think mostly by around 10 p.m. or so is when we are looking at those drier conditions. And then after tonight, where we will still be in the upper 70s or even the 80s in a couple of areas, Wednesday is going to bring us some afternoon relief. We're back down in the lower 90s, and it looks like we're either going to sink a little bit further into the upper 80s or just stay right around 90 for the rest of the week, while the rain chances don't look to increase until the weekend. We will be back in the mid-90s, I think, by the end of the weekend and into the start of next week. And while that may bring a return of heat indices in the triple digits, anything as high as today, very, very unlikely. But making sure we are staying prepared, we're staying hydrated, out of the sun if possible for today, for again, what is very likely going to be the hottest and the most humid day of the year across